Are you thinking about moving to Palos Verdes, but you're confused on all of the different areas and neighborhoods? Well, you're not alone. So today, what I'm going to do is go over a little bit about the different areas that are in Palos Verdes, the different cities for the most part. My name is Ben Larson, and hopefully you'll find this information helpful. So Palos Verdes can be confusing. It's people refer to it as one area, and it is, it's a peninsula here off the South Bay of Los Angeles. And it is one area. It's just kind of a region here in the South Bay. But there are different cities that make up Palos Verdes. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that today, what they are, and show you where they are. So I'm going to pull up a map. But first, there are 5 different cities, basically 4 cities and then an unincorporated Los Angeles County section of it. So I want to touch on that a little bit because that's always interesting. People aren't aware of that and they like to know about it. So what I'm going to do is just pull up a map here, and we're going to talk a little bit about the different areas. So hopefully you can see this okay. Starting off, one thing that will help you getting around, I know there are a lot of hills, a lot of windy roads, so it can be very easy to get turned around or lost when you're driving around. So one thing that will hopefully help you out to learn is there is one street road that goes all the way around what we call the hill. And so that's called Palos Verdes Drive. And when you're looking at the map here, so pretty easy once you know that it goes all the way around the hill, and what it's called is whatever side of the hill that you're on. So Palos Verdes Drive North is right up here. It's on the north side of the hill. Then it hits Palos Verdes Drive East, which goes up the east side, the south, and then at Hawthorne, it turns into west and comes back around over and hits Palos Verdes Drive North. So that's a quick overview just to kind of give you, so if you get driving around, you get a little bit lost, you see Palos Verdes Drive and it says south and you want to be on the north side of Palos Verdes, north side of the hill, then you're on the opposite side and you got to get your way around. And if nothing else and you get confused on going through and going over the hill, you can always just drive all the way around and you'll end up back on Palos Verdes Drive North. So anyway, let's get into a little bit about the city. So like I said, there's 4 cities and then an unincorporated LA County area. The 4 cities are Rolling Hills Estates, Palos Verdes Estates, Rolling Hills, and Rancho Palos Verdes. So Rancho Palos Verdes is where I'm going to start. It's one of the biggest sections, and it actually kind of weaves through some of the other areas. A couple of them do that. But let me just pull it up here on the map and it'll give you an idea. So 90275 is Rancho Palos Verdes. I don't know why I pulled up a different one when I pulled up Palos Verdes Estates. So this is what we call RPV, Rancho Palos Verdes, and you can see it kind of winds in and through. You've got this part over here, PV Drive East, covers around PV Drive South, a little bit of PV Drive West. It doesn't quite hit PV Drive North, and almost up over here. So that gives you kind of an idea of Rancho Palos Verdes, where that is. When you're driving around, you hear about it. Some people just think it's one part. It actually spans a lot of the hill. Some of the next one, we'll just look at Rolling Hills Estates. Give you an idea where that is. Rolling Hills Estates, just a little side note, it's you've got some bigger properties, a lot of horse property in this area as well. And you can see Rolling Hills Estates this is a big part of it through here, right along PV Drive North. And it's desirable. It's, parts of the hill can be a little windy, a little far from everything else. So what you get here, Rolling Hills Estates, this whole section here just kind of hovers, right on the edge of the South Bay. You can be off the hill or over onto the freeway. Actually pretty quickly, unless you get up higher in this part of Rolling Hills Estates. And the mall area and all of that, Peninsula Center at the top of the hill, it's technically in Rolling Hills Estates too, most or all of it. So then you can go to Palos Verdes Estates, where that is. So when you get Palos Verdes Estates, you're going to be over here on mostly the western side of PV Drive West. All along here, you've got Lanada Bay, Malaga Cove, Monte Malaga, and PV Estates. You're going to have Belmonte as well. So all these neighborhoods are part of Palos Verdes Estates. And so I'm not going to get into the ins and outs of every neighborhood, just trying to give you a sense of where things are and help you get around a little bit if you're exploring the area. Definitely reach out if you have questions about what the different areas are like, pros and cons. I know them very well, so you can feel free to reach out if you have questions about any of that. So last one I wanted to get into before I touch on the unincorporated area is Rolling Hills. So not to be confused with Rolling Hills Estates, they are different. A lot of people do confuse it. They're talking about Rolling Hills Estates and they say Rolling Hills. Rolling Hills is actually a gated city. So there are guard gates going in and out. There are 3 gates, one here off of Rolling Hills Road, another one over here. If you go up off of Crenshaw, you can come in, there's a gate up here. And then there's another one off of PV Drive East, the PV Drive East gate. So another lot of horse property up here, big lots, very desirable area, very high-end area, lots of high-end homes there. So those are the 4 cities. And then there is an unincorporated part. It doesn't pull up on my map if I search anything. So I'm just going to give you kind of a general area. You've got this section here, just east of Crenshaw and just west of Crenshaw a little bit. You got a section here, what we call unincorporated LA County, and it is in Palos Verdes. Still go to PD schools, which is one of the big draws of living in Palos Verdes. Great school district. So what some people like and dislike about being there is that you don't have the cities that are as strict on building codes and things, additions, what people can do to their homes. So some people like that, if they want to have a little more flexibility, and some people don't like that if they don't want people to have that flexibility as their neighbor. So anyway, that just kind of gives you an overview. I'm just going to zoom out. So you can see this is the hill, we call it. You've got Redondo and Torrance through here, Lomita, Harbor City, San Pedro surrounding it. But yeah, it goes kind of right along this section here, comes down to Western, and then of course all along the cliffs on this side. So that is Palos Verdes. And if you're on this side, you are definitely farther from the freeway. It is a little quieter. So you have your trade-offs, pros and cons of everywhere, which I'll get into in another video, talk about some of that, maybe of the specific different areas. So anyway, hop out of the screen share here. Hopefully that was helpful. But like I said, if you have questions about any of that, getting around, what the areas are like, questions about schools or price points, or different types of homes, different types of properties, definitely reach out anytime. I know the area really well. Again, it's Ben Larson, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Thanks.